What is going on, YouTube? This is Boxing Wave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms, Boxing Wave 10 on Twitter and Instagram. Yo, so this is by far my favorite fight of the weekend. We already know we have a lot of fights to cover this weekend. Showtime card, Tank Davis against Leo Santa Cruz, ESPN, Naoya Inoue, and this on the zone. Okay. Dereck Chisora against Oleksandr Usyk. A real, true heavyweight test for Oleksandr Usyk. I believe so. I believe so. All right. Normally when I do these predictions, breakdowns, whatever way you want to call it, I tell you who I think is going to win, and I also tell you who I'm rooting for. I'm not rooting for any particular fighter in this fight. I love both fighters. I love Dereck Chisora. I think Chisora is he's one of my favorite fighters that's not like an actual elite fighter. Like, he's one of those guys that win or lose, you're always going to love them. You're always going to support them. Doesn't matter how they look in a fight. You're always going to have their back because he's just so entertaining. You know, he's so entertaining, and he's really preparing hard for this fight. You know, I feel like he's going into this fight like he has something to prove, you know, and that's always good for him going into a fight. You know, he has had a couple of nice wins. He picked up, you know, since he lost to Dillian White, he picked up a couple of nice wins. And, you know, he's lost some fights. He lost a lot of fights. Normally when he steps up to the actual elite fighters, he usually loses. He's lost to David Haye. He lost to Klitschko. He lost to Tyson Fury twice. All right, he lost to Dillian White twice. I thought he won the first one, but very close fight. All right, got knocked out in a rematch. All right, lost to Pulev. All right, he lost to nothing but top elite boxers in the heavyweight division for the most part. All right, now a couple of losses there, but you guys get what I'm saying. But win or lose, always support this guy. Love this dude. Always want him to win. And the fact that he is the underdog in this, it kind of makes me want him to win even more because he is the underdog. Usyk, on the other hand, is another fighter that I like. He's done great things. He's one of the very few fighters that's in the sport that literally fought and beat everybody, that cleared out a whole division. Like, no funny shit. Like, he cleared out the whole cruiserweight division. Not only even before the World Boxing Super Series, he was already fighting top guys, you know, guys like Glowacki, Marco Huck. He was fighting those guys before the tournament. And then when he get into the tournament, he beats Breedis. You know, he beats the top fighters, all in cruiserweight, become undisputed, wins the World Boxing Super Series tournament, and then moves up. It moves up to heavyweight. So a guy like that, and especially in his amateur background and everything, he did a lot of stuff as an amateur too. So I like him because he's fearless. And he's fighting the best. And he's looking great. Michael Hunter. How do I forget him? You know, Michael Hunter. He's beaten a lot of good fighters. He's beaten Joe Joyce. He's beaten a whole lot of good fighters. And a guy like that, you want them to keep winning because you want to see how far they can go with it. You know? So as far as who I want to win, I'm happy either way. As long as we get a good fight, I'm happy either way. If Chisora is able to pull it off and win or pick up a knockout, great for him. Because with that win, he's earned him a big fight. You know? But Usyk, I kind of want to see where he can go, how far he can go with this heavyweight thing. If he can get in the mix with a Joshua or a Fury or, you know, whoever. I would love to see what he can actually do as a heavyweight. I know he is a smaller heavyweight, okay? But, you know, now that he's in his prime and he's pushing towards the end of his prime, because he's in his mid-30s now, how far can he really go with his style? You know, he's a very athletic guy and a guy that fights the way he does. He's peaking out now. So I want him to hurry up and achieve whatever he has to do. Hopefully he doesn't have any more injury setbacks or anything like that. He's a guy I just want to see keep winning. And I have to mention, this fight is very important for him for obvious reasons, but it's important because the Ukrainian fighters have had a rough year for the past year. I'm talking about the very elite Ukrainian fighters have taken losses all year. You know, Volzdik lost and retired. All right? He was stopped by Beterbiev and he retired. You know? Who else lost? Victor Postal. You know, I know he's on his later days and stuff. Once he was a top super or junior welterweight. He took a loss recently. All right. Lomachenko just lost. He just lost to Teofimo Lopez. Everyone's still talking about it. All right. And then you also had Derenchenko. Derenchenko lost too to Jamal Charlo. All right. So all these fighters, these are the very elite Ukrainian fighters. There's a lot of pressure on Usyk. You know, and sometimes it's happening. Like earlier this year, all the Philly fighters, and I know I'm comparing a state to a whole country, but, you know, you got top fighters from Philly that lost. You know, Tevin Farmer lost. J-Rock got knocked out. Jesse Hart lost. You know, it happens. So I think it's very important for Usyk to win because they've had a rough year. All right. But yeah, I expect from the two fighters, and I've done a couple videos on this fight already. I know you guys a lot of you probably seen my videos on these two. I did a video talking about this fight when it was originally scheduled in the beginning of the year, before the pandemic and everything, before boxing was shut down. I did a video then. I did a more recent video, maybe about a month and a half ago. And I'm doing a video now because it's fight week. All right. And I will definitely try to do live commentary for this fight because this is my favorite fight of the weekend. And this is the earliest fight. I think all these cards are going to overlap each other a little bit. I think the DAZN card is going to overlap the ESPN card a little bit. And the ESPN is going to overlap the Showtime pay-per-view card a little bit. But if I do any live commentary that day, it will be for this fight. But yeah, I expect Chisora to come out very aggressive. You know, he's training hard for this fight. I think he is preparing to try to bully Usyk. You know, he's going to do it. I think he's going to attack his body. I think he's just going to bruise and try to bruise. I think he's just going to try to bruise Usyk up. I don't know how clean he's going to land, but I think he's just going to try to beat on Usyk until one of those right hands, those overhand rights land clean and go for the knockout. All right, but I think he's going to go and attack Usyk's body. That's what I think Chisora is going to do. Usyk, he's been here before. He's fought fighters that were bigger than him. Try to win by being aggressive and stuff like that. I think Usyk is going to show, you know, he's going to do a lot of movement. All right, stay off the ropes. That's what he needs to do. Definitely stay off the ropes. Don't end up like Arthur Spilka. You don't want to catch one of those right hands up top. You know, he was there for that fight. We saw his reaction. So I think Usyk needs to stay off the ropes, keep moving, pick his spots, all right? Not do too much, but try to just slow down Chisora, you know? But don't wait too long because you don't want to give too many rounds away. I think Chisora, for the most part, are going to win some of the earlier rounds, all right? A few of the early rounds. But don't wait too many rounds. Don't give too many rounds away. We saw what happened with Loma and Teofimo Lopez. Don't give too many rounds away. We know that Chisora is a hard hitter. We know he's the naturally bigger guy. You know, we know he's an aggressive fighter. But pick your spots. Get in there. Throw something, you know. Throw something while, you know, in the mix of Chisora landing bombs. Right? You got to get in there. Use that defense. You know, use that upper body movement you have, those great legs, you know, pivoting and stepping around Chisora, countering him. That's what you want to do. You want to jump in, boom, 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 and move out. Because Chisora is just coming in to go to that body so he could open you up top. I think it's pretty simple. I think the game plan from both ends are simple. I just think Usyk, I think his chances of winning is greater. He is the favorite in this fight. I don't know how great of as far as the odds and stuff, I don't know how much of a favorite he is. I think if Chisora was to win this fight, and if he was to win by knockout, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. I'm picking Usyk to win, though, more towards a decision. Even if he is the knockout Chisora, it would be a late stoppage. But I'm expecting Usyk to win. I think Usyk, at some point, he's going to take control of the fight. All right, and he's going to bring the fight to Chisora while he's a little bit tired and out of gas. All right, but Chisora's training very, very hard. And if Chisora can maintain that aggression for the entire fight, Usyk will be in for a long time, for a long night, for a very long night. What I am happy for is that Chisora looks like he's going to be in his very best shape that he can be at this stage in his career. So I think the styles match up well. I think this is a great test for Usyk. I think he's going to win, though. I'm picking him to win this one. But if we get a stoppage and Chisora knocks him out, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm not calling this a 50-50 or anything. It's definitely not a 50-50. But I give Chisora more credit on winning this fight than most. I want to say maybe 65-35. I don't think that's far off. I don't think that's too close neither. But I say Usyk got 65% chance of winning, Chisora 35%. Just because I see how Chisora looked against other guys that moved and controlled the distance with him. I was able to see what Tyson Fury did, especially in that rematch they had. I watched that fight live, and I remember Chisora didn't have anything for Fury because Fury just, even though Fury doesn't fight exactly like Usyk, one thing that they both have in common is they move extremely well, and Chisora just really couldn't get to him. Chisora couldn't really get to David Haye, at that time when David Haye was back in his prime. Too quick, too big of a puncher. Was able to pick his spots and keep it moving. And there's other fighters, even Pulev, who's much slower, not much of a mover, but he knows how to maintain that distance between aggressive fighters. He knows how to do it, and I expect the same from Usyk. It's just that Usyk is a little smaller. How is his power going to carry over? This ain't Chaz Witherspoon. This is a real heavyweight. This isn't even Carlos Takam, who Usyk was supposed to fight, who Chisora knocked out. All right? So this is a real, true heavyweight test. I love the fight. I can't wait to see the fight. And I can't wait to see the outcome. But I'm picking Usyk to win this one by decision. But again, anything can happen in this fight. We could get a stoppage from Usyk. We can get a stoppage from Chisora. And we can even get a decision by Chisora because you just don't know. You just don't know. Look what happened with Lopez and Lomachenko. If Chisora is really aggressive and he maintains that stamina and he doesn't let his foot off the gas and Usyk is really not really able to take the power and deal with the aggressiveness and just can't figure things out, you never know. You never know. You just never know. But it should be a good fight. Should be a good fight. All right, so I think I covered everything. I don't really think it's really that deep of a breakdown. I think you got a guy that's skillful, lighter, moves, quicker, and has better stamina, against a guy that's a bigger puncher, the bigger man, the aggressor. It's pretty much Boxer against puncher. I'm going for the boxer in this one. All right, peace.